Well, hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the fifth go-round of the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. This is actually day six, should be day six of the NFR. Remember that the first performance on Thursday of last week moved because of that tragic shooting last week in Las Vegas. That will be made up tomorrow morning. Tomorrow will be a unique doubleheader day at the National Finals Rodeo. But today, we're looking ahead to go-round number 5 tonight and talking about go-round number 4 last night. I'm Steve Kenyon. Lindsey Rosser-Sumter joins us. Tomorrow's going to be a different kind of day for everybody involved in the NFR.
Tomorrow's going to be a very busy day for everybody. I think that there's going to be a lot of people probably going to bed early tonight to be ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about the lead, the top stories that we are looking at today, especially after last night, go round number 4 of the National Finals Rodeo. Top story number 1, Kai Hamilton. He's won $402,000 this year, $138,000 of it in the last 4 days.
And he moved to number 1 in the world standings in the bull riding race. So that's a pretty exciting thing for him. I know that he's chasing that. But Brittany Posey-Tanazi, she went over $1 million of NFR earnings last night.
Yeah, here in the Thomas and Mack. And she is within $2,000 of breaking the record that Haley Kinzel set of $350,000 plus for single season earnings. And then the third story on the lead is Jake Long and Clint Summers. They had one rut row in go round number 3, but they've won 3 out of 4 go rounds in the team roping.
They're going to prove that they're going to really, really vie for that world title just by winning those go-rounds. But one rut row in the team roping generally will get a check in the average. So it's pretty fun to see. They've won over $100,000 in just 4 go-rounds.
There have been a lot of years where somebody has gone out of the average early, come back, gotten into the average, and ended up winning a lot of money. Here's a look at your Ram Top Gun standings right now. Kai Hamilton, $114,000 officially. That does not count a bunch of ground money that he has won on nights when they've ridden fewer than 6 bulls. Clint Summers and Jake Long both have won $102,000. Brittany Posey-Tanazi could not be more consistent.
No, and Benny looks strong, and I think every run he gets stronger. She hasn't been over a 1375, and that is just pretty spectacular. The ground looked really shifty, in my opinion, last night, and he handled it like a champ and just is going to get better.
Tanner Butner is quiet. He's soft-spoken. He's a cowboy. He's a rancher. He can work cattle for you just as easy as he can ride a bucking horse. He's won a go-round. He's 5th in that Top Gun standings. Those are the top money winners in one event.
I love seeing guys like Tanner do well at the NFR. He's a quiet guy. Not a lot of people know who he is, and he's just slowly making him name for himself. But like you said, just a cowboy, and that's always great to see.
Coming up on today's show, we'll introduce you to a couple of the Resistol Rookies of the Year. Today is Resistol Rookie of the Year Day. We'll tell you the story of a great horse named Peso. And coming up on the other side, we'll talk bareback riding and steer wrestling from go round number 4 on NFR Central.
Welcome to the Next Gen Rodeo app, your one-stop source for everything rodeo. Live scores, event updates, exclusive content, and a community that lives and breathes rodeo. Connect to the next generation of Western events. Subscribe today and get exclusive access to events and the content surrounding them. Next Gen Rodeo app. The future of rodeo is in your hands.
Starting now. The past is history. But we're ready to make some more. Yeah, we've given away some hardware and some cash. And we're after more. Because there's always room for another.
He's on his way to closer to $1 million.
Yeah.
The WCRA Triple Crown of Rodeo. Watch on CBS.
Highlighting the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo with Lindsey Rosser-Sumter, I'm Steve Kenyon from Next Gen Rodeo Media, powered by Rodeo Logistics. I thought last night was a really good rodeo. Every performance has been a lot of fun to watch. They always are at the NFR. Tonight, and we're going to get into the draw here in a couple of minutes, in both the bareback riding and the saddle bronc riding, has the potential to be special.
There's a lot of world champion horses out tonight with world champion matchups. Every night just gets better and better. It's so exciting. The excitement in the building, I hope that it resonates across on the viewership, but it's just every day has been a great rodeo, really.
Tonight and round 10 are TV pen nights in the bucking horse events. We'll explain that to you a little bit later on. But let's talk about what happened in go-round number 4. Last night, Leighton Berry won his first go-round at this NFR. He won 2 go-rounds in 2021 at the National Finals Rodeo. 87.5, $30,706 for Leighton Berry. That ride coming on a great horse called Painted Smoke that came from the Frontier Rodeo Company, the stock contractor of the year. Barry's 3rd check in 4 tries and his first go-round win.
It's so fun to see those guys win their first go-round because you can go to the NFR on multiple occasions and never get a go-round check. So that's great for him. But look at there, Keenan Hayes. He's 2nd in the average right now, and he just keeps making that world gold buckle lead a little bit more with his second place, or split in second.
4 of the names on that list are at their first NFR. Jaco Roper and Keenan Hayes, along with Mason Clements, splitting the number 2 spot. Cade Saulnier's a Resistol rookie. So is Dean Thompson. But it was all about Leighton Berry, 87.5. Here's what Leighton Berry had to say about it. Well, round number 4, off to a fast start, and Leighton Berry and a really good pen of horses, 87.5. Painted Smoke, the bucking horse you got on. What'd you know about that horse?
I knew everything about that horse. I've never been on him, but I've been studying that horse all year long. It's a horse we've taken to the national finals 3 times before. That horse is not very old, but since it's a colt, it's been super electric. Honestly, if that horse was 300 or 400 pounds bigger than he is, he'd easily be a TV pin style horse. But he's electric. He leaves the box really hard and finishes through 8 seconds. You know you're going to have a 10-second battle with that horse, and tonight was touch and go. I'm not going to say that horse is a rank bucker, obviously, because we put him in the 1 pin, but every jump, I knew if I stubbed a toe that he might make me look funny. So I just kept setting my feet and kept my hand shut, kept my chin down, and that horse really showcased his stuff tonight, and I felt like I did my part.
That's a bareback riding clinic right there. Focus on your feet, keep your chin down, and keep your hand shut.
That's right. You got to keep it simple and just go do your job.
Tell me about I think you've had a pretty good NFR. You've won checks 3 out of 4 go-rounds.
Yeah, no, I haven't really won that much up until tonight, but I have placed technically out of 3 out of 4 rounds. Is awesome. I came into this NFR wanting to start off strong and stay solid. Last night, my dancing partner didn't really want to play. Kind of tested me, but I was able to come out with an okay score that's going to keep me in the average. And honestly, after tonight, we're just going to keep building on what we got, which is a win. And tomorrow we got the ones we dream about, the TV pin. So I'm excited to see what gets right underneath me.
Are there 1 or 2 you'd like to see your name next to tomorrow?
There's definitely one, 2708 Nightcrawler, Colin Pickett's. I haven't had that horse in a couple of years. It's a bucking horse of the world this year. Me and that horse, I think our styles just clashed together really good. If I could play it out right, I might would wait till the 10th round to have that one, but I definitely will not complain if I have him tomorrow.
Yeah, we will see what happens. The TV pen tomorrow night. Last question. I was thinking as I was watching you do a couple of the other interviews, Leighton got off to such a great start this year. You're number 1 in the world coming out of the spring, won Houston, big money in San Antonio, big money in San Angelo. Wouldn't it be nice to finish that way?
It would be nice to finish that way. Whenever I started in January, I just told God that I was going to go right along with him, and I knew he had a plan, and I knew I was going to work hard, and obviously a gold buckle has been on my mind since I started, but after being 3rd in the world last year, I knew what it was going to take to win a world title. I had a winner like I've never dreamed of having, winning some of the rodeos, most prestigious rodeos in the world. My summer pretty much went crashing down. I had trouble drawing horses, had some injuries that didn't play along. But like I said, I just keep praying and keep trying to follow in the footsteps that God wants me to go in. And now that we got a round win here, our confidence is through the roof, and my body's feeling great, and anything can happen in 6 more rounds.
Bareback rider Leighton Berry, 87.5. Your bareback riding winner in round number 4. Leighton's in the process of making a lot of money this year, $206,000. He left the night last night in the number 3 spot in the world standings, Lindsay.
Yeah, he did, and he just keeps getting stronger and stronger. He wasn't feeling well in the beginning of the week, and so, just his health being better is going to help his performance.
Rocker Steiner got off to that fast start, winning the first 2 go-rounds. He hasn't placed since. He's 2nd. Keenan Hayes, $322,000. It's time to really kind of start looking at the average. Mason Clements is number 1, 340 points on forehead. Keenan Hayes right behind in the number 2 spot in the average at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. So there's a look at your top 15 money winners right now. 2 of those guys, Keenan Hayes, number 1, Cade Saulnier, number 5, both in that Resistol Rookie of the Year race. So is Dean Thompson in the number 12 spot. And, of course, they will honor the top rookies tonight at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo.
Now we're going to look at the draw for tonight, and when we're seeing what's going on here, there is some great matchups. But Clayton Bigelow on Nightcrawler, the 2023 Bareback Horse of the Year, is a pretty good matchup, in my
Casey
opinion.
Field made 2 rides on that horse this year, 90 and 93.5. That's the horse that Clayton Bigelow's got. Clayton's got to be excited. There are a bunch of Horse of the Year award winners in this pen.
Yeah, Orrin Larson on Gunfire. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a big white horse in there named Virgil.
Yeah, he's won it a couple of times.
That's a pretty good matchup, too, with the young rookie Jayco Roper.
Jess Pope gets on OLS Tub Stevie Nicks from Ward Muxa. That's a horse that Tim O'Connell a couple of years ago in San Angelo rode for 94 points. So top to bottom, there's a potential for some great big scores. They haven't been 90 yet in the bareback riding. Tonight's the night.
Tonight's the night, and 93 is the record for the fastest or the highest mark for the bareback riding. I don't know if they'll get it tonight, but with all of those matchups, like we talked about, horses of the year, it's a possibility.
Let's talk about the steer wrestling next. And in the bulldogging, Bridger Anderson, he's one of those guys that qualified for the NFR in 2020 at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Last night, he got to celebrate his first ever go-around win at the Thomas and Mack. This is his second trip to the NFR, his first trip to the Thomas and Mack.
And he had a rough start to his NFR. He was no time for the first 2 go-rounds. Every time I saw him, he's like, it's going to get better. There's $30,000 every single night. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. And then the second night, it didn't go better. And then finally, he got the ball rolling with the go-around win last night.
Anderson was 3.5. J.D. Struxness was 3.9. Second, world standings leader Dalton Massey finished in a tie for the number 5 spot. That paid him $4,292. A very happy cowboy riding a horse named Whiskers. Bridger Anderson from North Dakota. Here's what he had to say about his winning time of 3.5. Steer wrestler Bridger Anderson, 3.5 to win round number 4 at the National Finals Rodeo. Bridger, you had a steer that Will Loomis was 6.3 on the first time around, but both times this pen of steers had been out, 3.5 won it. What was there anything different about this steer tonight than when Will had him on the first night?
No, Will and I talked about it, and Clayton and Luke and Justin, we all kind of broke it down. And Will thought that if a guy stays up with him and doesn't let him sit you down, that steer will be great. And I just tried to fight to get forward and get ahead of the nose, and he come by and hit. And it honestly caught me a little off guard, because when that steer jumps by you, it kind of feels like he disappears. And all of a sudden he was hit, and I heard the flag drop and stood up like, oh yeah, we're done.
Yeah, well, 3.5. It doesn't take very. It just took you a lot longer to describe it than it did to do it.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, it happens pretty fast.
Tell me about your horse, Whiskers.
Whiskers is 14, big, powerful bay horse that really likes to run and only likes to steer wrestle, but he loves his job, and he's been feeling great.
You're one of the guys who qualified in 2020 in the COVID year. You had not competed before this week in Las Vegas at the Thomas and Mack. I think everybody grows up dreaming about being in this building when they're dreaming about making it to the NFR. You won a round in Texas. You had a great finals. What's the difference?
It's entirely different, actually. The Texas, we were thankful to have the Texas NFR, and they did a great job, and it was a great rodeo. But it was a big arena, and steers, we kind of had to run them down a little further. And this arena is really short, and you have to blow the barrier out, and you have to make good runs, because it's going to happen fast. So, yeah, we're super pumped to be in Vegas. We've been dreaming about this since we were a toddler, and yeah, it's neat that we got to go around.
How nice is it to ride a horse that you own?
It's great. Know that horse inside and out, and he knows me, and can kind of let him do his job, and I got full total trust on him. And if I want to go run steers, I can go run steers. It's awesome to have Whiskers in the trailer.
Well, you just won round 4. You got 6 more shots at him. Go get them.
Thank you. Here we go.
Bridger Anderson from North Dakota. He just won go round number 4 in the steer wrestling, a time of 3.5. Steer wrestler Bridger Anderson from North Dakota went to college at Northwest Oklahoma State University, sometimes known as Bulldogger U, and a 3.5. This pen of cattle last night, that was the same pen of cattle that was out in go-round number 1. He had a different steer, but remember Dalton Massey won the first round with a time of 3.5.
Yeah, that's a great pen of steers. There's a lot of chances and a lot of money to be, won on that. That's the same set of steers that they're going to run in the 10th go-round, too.
Yeah, they'll be back again and go round number 7. Dalton Massey, number 1 in the average, number 1 in the world, $238,000. Jesse Brown's right behind. Tyler Wagyusback is hanging around in the number 3 spot. And if you look at that average, Tyler Wags is in there in the top 8 right now. But Dalton Massey right now is getting that great big average check of over $78,000.
Dalton Massey and Eddie look really strong. Yeah. He's riding the best horse of the year for 2023, Tanner Milan's Eddie. And they are just getting great starts, good goes every single time. You know, it's his first NFR, and I thought maybe there'd be some jitters, but he looks strong. He doesn't look like a first-year NFR guy, and it could just be that he grew up in this industry with, you know, Sid Britt, his grandpa, you know, showing him the ropes so early, but I mean, he just looks cool as a cucumber.
Dalton Massey at 17-6 on 4/10 of a second ahead of the rest of the field in the aggregate, and we'll really start to focus on that as of Thursday when we get into the final 2 or 3 go-rounds. But right now, Massey has got the hammer on the rest of the field. He came in here number 1, and he still finds himself in that number 1 spot. So that's the way the steer wrestling went last night. Now we're getting ready to turn the page and talk about some team ropers and some saddle bronc riders and go through the rest of the events. But before we do all of that, Lindsay and the Women's Rodeo World Championships would like to take you inside the boots of a cowgirl. In her boots today, highlighting Erica Frost, the talented breakaway roper from Utah.
Since 1885, cowgirls like Annie Oakley, Calamity Jane, and Lucille Mulhall have wrote themselves into history books while wearing cowboy boots. Join us as we share the tales of today's most influential cowgirls and provide a glimpse of what it's like to walk in her boots.
My name's Erica Frost. I'm a professional breakaway roper married to NFR bull rider Josh Frost. I'm originally from Quebec, Canada, but I now live in Randelette, Utah. So I taught first grade for 2 years before going full breakaway roper full time, and it was an amazing job. I love teaching, but breakaway roping is my passion. The main thing I love about being a breakaway roper is honestly the bond between my horse and I. I just love owning a horse, love to see what you can do with those amazing animals, and just really love owning one. Honestly, the thing I love most about being a cowgirl is being able to dress like a cowgirl and not have to worry about my outfit. Day in the life of myself at the NFR this year looks a little different. I have my horse down here, so we wake up early, go feed the horse. We've been coming to get some autograph signings done here at the Cowboy Christmas, and then hurry back to the hotel and start getting ready to head to the perf because we got to head out at 4:15, so not much time, and it's go, go, go all day. Being a professional bull rider's wife, there's a lot of praying that goes into it. Before every time he gets on a bull, I make sure to say a prayer and make sure he stays healthy, and that's the main concern. If I could walk in any other cowgirl shoes, it would definitely be Shelby Medjid. I think it would be awesome to get to swing a leg over Anna and get to rope a calf. I see the industry of breakaway roping going big. I feel like we should be at the Thomas and Mack. I think we have a place here, and I think it would be great. I think a lot of people would love to watch us here at the Thomas and Mack.
The $750,000 Women's Rodeo World Championships coming to the Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, Texas area in the month of May. And I asked you during that interview with Erica, so should everybody be starting to get entered for some of this stuff? And you said, yeah.
Absolutely. You know, we take the top 20 in our leaderboard standings in the Challenger and in the Pro. So $750,000, that is a lot of money. So get to nominating all those events that you're already going to.
You can go to the WRWC social media, to the WRWC's website, to the WCRA's website. PBR's got some of that information. You can find it all over the place.
Absolutely. And, you know, these ladies are capitalizing on having equal money, $183,000 in the heading and the heeling. It's just a great opportunity to celebrate ladies that week alone in Fort Worth, Texas, May 13th through the 19th. We have $1.145 million for female athletes alone, and the Cowgirls are taking over Cowboy Stadium. Our Triple Crown round of rodeo is going to happen with the PBR World Finals at Cowboy Stadium.
So get involved and make this something that you are a part of. Cowgirls, we'd love to see you come rope barrel race the Women's Rodeo World Championships. Team roping, Clint Summers from Florida and Jake Long from Kansas have now won 3 go-rounds in 4 days. They had one row in round 3 where they took a no time, but they were 3-7 on Monday night, and right now they're in the number 1 spot in the world standings. Luke Brown and Hunter Cook, number 2 last night. Tyler Wade and Wesley Thorpe. This has been a real interesting team roping, and Clint Summers and Jake Long. The funny thing about it, the interview you're going to hear coming up, Jake talked about last night was the first night he actually got around his steer where he wanted to be.
Yeah, and I think that now they're just in their groove, and they're going to keep making those runs. They did have the one rut row. They've won over $100,000. But you know who else is placing a lot? Nelson Wyatt and Jonathan Torres have placed in every single go-round.
They are very consistent. It has been, so far, there hasn't been one of those nights where everybody had trouble. And
right. It started off rough last night, and then it got fast.
yeah, then it did. And the fastest of them all, Clint Summers and Jake Long. So 3 out of 4 go-round wins here at the National Finals Rodeo. Round 4 goes to Clint Summers and Jake Long, 3-7. Nice run. After last night, were you determined to come back and do something good?
Absolutely. You know, last night we were first out. I missed the start just a hair, not the start I wanted, and I had kind of tightened my rope down, my loop. Steer had a little bit smaller horns, and I shouldn't have done it, and just made a mistake. And I wanted to come back tonight and try to get some revenge, you know, and wasn't shooting for 3-7, but I seen 4-8 was fourth, and I wanted to beat that and just see what happened, and, man, it worked.
Jake, you've been here a lot. Are you guys, especially if you're a little bit farther down in the batting order, are you guys kind of watching to see, okay, do we need to really blow it out, or can we make a – how do you approach it?
You know, honestly, in the past, I would really watch, and, like, this round started off pretty soft, and then it got really tough. And in the past, I'd get a little bit bowed up and thinking, you know, I want to do something tonight, but I keep kind of sticking with our game plan of, like, I'm trying to ride a certain position, and a big deal for me is having heat on my rope, swinging my rope and having power on it. And so that's the only two things I'm focused on, and then it worked. So
you told the Wrangler Network that tonight was a night you felt like you did the best job of getting into the position you practiced in the practice pen. Talk about that.
That's the first year that I actually got all the way around and was kind of waiting on him to turn. And that's the spot that I worked really, really hard on in the practice pen to get to. I used to be good at it, and then somewhere along the way I quit doing it. And I don't know, I got old and started finding the inside a little too much, I guess. But, you know, I feel like that's how I used to rope every time out here, and I always get along good. It felt like I didn't miss very many steers. And so I've worked really hard on getting back to that and kind of getting back to the roots of it.
You've won 3 out of 4 go-rounds. You've already won over $100,000. That's not a bad 4 days of work, Clint.
Heck no, man. Like I said a while ago, it's like it's a dream, and we're just in it. And I hope it'll keep on rolling.
Well, I hope it does too. You guys are even with you're in the average. You're not number one, but you're in the average. Won over $100,000. Pretty good National Finals rodeo so far for these guys. Clint Summers, Jake Long. They win round number 4. Through the first 4 go-rounds, there are 4 teams at this NFR that have roped all of their steers. Clint and Jake are in the number 5 spot in the average, waiting to see if one of those 4 teams stubs its toe.
And it's very much a possibility. Though I am impressed with the set of cattle. All of these cattle, they all look really good, and they look even. We haven't seen any steers duck their heads or set up or anything like that, which now, you know, we're moving on to the rerun of all these cattle. But I just think that in the team roping, they try to go so fast that just makes so much room for error.
So you see the world standings there. Clint Summers moved to the number 1 spot in the heading last night, $202,000. Remember, they picked up $102,000 in the last 4 days here at the NFR. Nelson Wyatt, number 1 in the average, number 2 overall in the world standings. Tyler Wade still hanging in there at number 3, just a few dollars behind Wyatt. Caleb Driggers, the reigning world champion, number 4. That's on the heading side. And then if we talk about the heeling, again, Jake Long moved to the number 1 spot. He's less than $3,000 ahead of Wesley Thorpe, number 2.
It's still really anybody's game. If just like we've seen with Clint and everybody, them getting on a roll, it really just makes it to where if that happens with another team, the musical chairs is going to keep happening. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy what happens when you get the momentum.
When you start dealing with $30,000 go-rounds, one miss or one catch at the right time can completely change the picture of the entire rodeo and the race for that gold buckle.
Yeah, and the one team that's been interesting is Caleb and Junior haven't really found their groove yet.
No,
and every time we say that, they get their groove, so maybe they'll get the groove tonight.
Well, let's see what will we see a Junior Negata layback tonight? We are about to find out and go around number 5 as he gets ready to get underway. So let's turn the page and talk about the saddle bronc riding. There are 2 Australians entered at this National Finals rodeo. Their names are Damian Brennan and Kai Hamilton. And they both won the go-round last night. Brennan in the bronc riding, Kai Hamilton in the bull riding. There you see it. Damian Brennan, 89 points. TNT Pro Rodeo's horse Cancun Moon. He got his first NFR go-round win at his first ever National Finals rodeo in the Eliminator pin.
And he made a flawless ride last night. He looked so strong. He was a college national champion. He came over here to go to college. He came with the intention of becoming a professional rodeo cowboy. It's a great story, I think, and it was really fun to see the Australians just have a ball last night.
Yeah, and Damian is also part of that Greg Rhodes connection at West Texas College with Australia, where they get a bunch of Aussies that come to school at Western Texas College. So Damian Brennan gets the win. He's now 9th in the world standings, $175,403 with Damian Brennan's first ever NFR go-round win. Here's what he had to say about it. Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. This is the 2022 Resist All Rookie of the Year and 2023 NFR qualifier. Damian Brennan just made an 89-point ride on Cancun Moon to win your first ever go-around at the NFR. I can't help but think about the fact you did it in the eliminator pen. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it was crazy. Obviously, I had a few nerves coming into the eliminating pen, but when I seen I had Cancun Moon, I've been there before, and it was honestly a really good draw for the eliminating pen.
Had you been on that horse before?
Yes, I've been on it twice. I got by it once, and the second time bucked me off, so it was good to get some redemption.
Absolutely. So what did the horse feel like? Was there any similarity between those other trips?
Yes, yep. You really got to work on getting a good solid spur out and set your ride up. And then after that, it really wants to rock you over in your rein stirrup, so you really got to fight to keep square and stay under that rein and stay ahead of it.
Damian, I know you've been asked this question a million times, so forgive the repeat. Getting from Australia to the States, now getting to the National Finals Rodeo, how did you get here? Who helped you? How gratifying is this?
Yep, so a big stepping stone for me was going to college. Went to WCT there under Greg Rhodes, and he was huge for me. Really set me up with my mindset and figuring out how to rodeo. And there's been so many people that helped me, from people back home to my traveling buddies to, I've got families in America all over now, it feels like. So, yeah.
There's a little pipeline to Snyder, Texas from Australia for Greg Rhodes in that Western Texas College program.
Yep. Yeah, there's a bunch of Aussies that come over each and every year. And, I think every year more Aussies come, they hear of it, and they just keep coming in.
Yeah. So you go from the eliminator pen tonight, TV pen tomorrow night. Is anybody you would really like to see your name show up next to you this evening?
Yes, X9 for sure. Yep, I'd love to have another crack at that one.
Awesome. Damian Brennan, first NFR, and now go-round winner. Go-round number 4 goes to you. I just really am impressed by the fact you got it in the eliminator pen. I don't know why, but that's a big deal to me, I think.
Yes, yep, that's a really tough pen to do good in, I suppose. They're pretty tricky, them horses, so I'm just pumped to get a win.
Awesome. Damian Brennan wins the saddle bronc riding, go-round number 4 with an 89-point ride. If you think about last night from this standpoint, there have been a lot of nights when the eliminator pen at the saddle bronc riding at the NFR, the theme song should have been "It's Raining Men," because they might have ridden 4 or 5 out of 15. Last night, the guys really handled the E-pen pretty well.
I thought they did too, and as there was no trashiness in this pen of eliminator horses, in my opinion.
So if you look at the world standings for the first time, we have somebody who stays in that number 1 spot for more than 24 hours since last Thursday. Sage Newman still at the top, $298,000. Zeke Thurston right behind, Cade Bruno third. They are all separated basically by a second-place go-round check.
Yeah, and tonight I'm going to say that there's going to be a leaderboard change tomorrow. Tonight we have Zeke Thurston on the PRCA Horse of the Year. He's winning the average. He's splitting the average with Brody Crest right now. He looks strong. He just keeps placing in every single go-around. But what happens tonight when he gets on oh, gosh, where'd it go?
You're talking about Zeke?
Yes.
When he gets on Explosive Skies.
Yes.
Yeah.
When he gets on Explosive Skies, it's going to be a great matchup, and I think they're going to win the go-around tonight.
Well, take a look at all those matchups. You can be a lot of points on all or nothing. Miss Valley might be, that Ben Anderson's got, might be my favorite horse in the PRCA. Zeke's got the Horse of the Year, Explosive Skies. Lefty Holman's got last year's Horse of the Year, the Black Tie. Brody Cress has the 2020 Horse of the Year in Womanizer. This could be a really interesting night. Ryder Sanford gets on Wild Cherry. Wild Cherry has never been the Horse of the Year, has been number 2 in that Horse of the Year race. Remember, today is Resist All Rookie Day. Tonight, all the rookies will get a chance to go out in the arena and be recognized during the National Finals Rodeo, including Ryder Sanford. I caught up with him earlier at the Resist All Rookie Luncheon. It is Resist All Rookie Tuesday, and we're at the Resist All Rookie of the Year luncheon. This is Ryder Sanford. He's a saddle bronc rider. I really thought the Resist All Rookie Award maybe would be decided at the NFR. You got in the number 15 spot, just right at the tail end of the season. How'd it feel to get here?
It's been great. It's been like a dream come true. I can't distinguish between reality and I'm just happy to be here.
You get one shot at winning this Rookie of the Year award. What's that mean to you?
Yeah, just having a world title, you have your whole career to strive for that. But the Rookie of the Year is just one shot at it, so it just means that much more.
Tell me about your background. How'd you get to be such a good saddle bronc rider?
A lot of hard work. Grew up in South Louisiana, right next to McNeese State University. They have a rodeo team there, so that's where I got my start. And great program there, great culture. A lot of guys that want to win. So just being over there and just putting in the work, that's where it's came from.
Per capita, there might be as many good cowboys coming out of Little Sulphur, Louisiana, as any place in the country.
Absolutely. Shane Hanchey, Tristan Martin, Casey Martin. There's a lot of great cowboys there.
So tonight is TV Pen night. You get Wild Cherry. Tell me about that matchup.
Oh, I'm very excited for it. Seen him all year. He's been great. I believe Dawson had like 95 on him. So super excited to get on that horse.
Just got to get by him in the bucking chutes.
Absolutely. He can be a little wild in there.
What the first 4 rounds you told me before we started, you feel like you've ridden well, you just haven't picked up a check yet. Keep riding well, I guess is all you can do. All you can do is your part, huh?
That's it. That's the mindset I've had all year. Just keep my head down, worry about my animal and my job, and push out all the other distractions and keep doing me.
Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Resist All Rookie of the Year Tuesday. This is Ryder Sanford, Saddle Bronc Rider, Rookie of the Year. Saddle Bronc Ryder Sanford gets on Wild Cherry from Calgary tonight. Sometimes the toughest thing about that horse is just getting out. That horse, the name is appropriate. Wild Cherry can have a moment in the bucking chutes.
Absolutely. This is going to be a very exciting night in the bronc riding. There's so many great matchups, so many great horses. I think you're probably going to have to win the go-around. You're going to have to be 88, 89 points after everything that plays out tonight, but I think Zeke's going to be on top.
I think you might have to be 90 in the bronc riding too, but we will find out together. Let's talk about the tie-down roping. Slow start to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo for Shad Mayfield. Took a no time and a couple of long times. Well, there he is, 6'9", last night, $30,706, just ahead of the world standings leader, Riley Webb, who was second with a 7-1, and then a couple of world champions, actually 3 of them right behind him in Tough Haven and Shane.
Yeah, and like we said, Shad Mayfield was never really had the best finals. We said that on the show, and then he goes and wins a round. And then if you look, Riley Webb, he wins a go-around, comes back, wins second. He's really just going to keep that momentum going.
Riley Webb right now is sitting on more than $350,000. He's just trying to put some distance between himself and the rest of the pack. One of the guys he's got to hold off, if he hits his groove, is Shad Mayfield. He hit it last night. Let's hear what Shad had to say. Go round number 4 at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, and the 2020 World Champion Shad Mayfield breaks through back-to-back 6-9s to win the last 2 go-rounds. No time on round 3, 6-9, and round 4. What was the difference?
I've just got to take it one calf at a time. I think I've been battling my head and kind of let myself get in my head last night and made a mistake, and I knew I shouldn't have done that and kind of got down on myself last night. But it's about how you bounce back, and tonight I knew I needed to bounce back, and I did that.
You told me at back number 9 the other night that Fred Whitfield's here kind of in your corner to help you, and Fred's been through every situation he can be through. I'm guessing he gave you a pep talk.
Oh, absolutely. He's been in the practice, been with me every day, and he comes in the tunnel with me. He's so good to have here, and last night, it's not what we wanted to happen, and I let it get to me, and he called me last night, and we had a really good talk. And, it helped me a lot to have someone like that in your ear. He's been through every moment here at Thomas and Mack and anywhere, so he knows. So just listen to him and know that I can do it.
Yeah. So what are you thinking going forward? There's 6 go-rounds and $180,000, even if you're out of the average, still on the line. You said when you started, just go at them calf by calf.
Yeah, I ain't an average roper anyway. I like winning go-rounds, so that's what I'm going for. And just now I know that I don't have to pack that second loop and worry about all that. And now I can rope like I know how to rope. And I should have started doing that and just let it fall into place, But, 6 more go-rounds, we're going to make it happen.
How you feel like your horse is working?
My horse is working awesome. That mare, I've got her this summer, and I didn't think she was a building horse or would work in here, but I gave her a big chance, and I trusted her, and she's been so phenomenal. I was supposed to ride my good horse Harry here, but he got hurt last week before we come out here. So Lollipop, she stepped up, and she's been phenomenal.
Awesome. Shad Mayfield, he's got 6 more shots and some big money. He was 6-9 tonight. That's a $30,000 go-round win in round number 4. Shad Mayfield won a world title in 2020, and last night a time of 6.9, back-to-back 6-9s to win the last 2 go-rounds at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. The young guys right now are at the top of the scoreboard.
They are, and they just keep getting stronger and stronger. Like we said, Riley Webb, I think he found his groove. I think that he's going to be lethal the rest of the time. But, world champion Haven Medjid and Tough Cooper are right now splitting first and second in the average, which is kind of interesting that it can come down to that close of a wire. But right there, you look at Riley Webb, he's just lengthening his lead in the world standings.
Corey Solomon is in the number 3 spot in that average. You take a look at the world standings. Riley Webb, number 1, $351,000, basically $100,000 ahead of Haven Medjid, number 2. Mayfield, with the money he won last night, is 3rd. Solomon and Hanchy, your top 5 as you look at the tie-down roping world standings here at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. I mentioned earlier today, Resistol Rookie of the Year luncheon at the South Point Hotel and Casino. This year's tie-down roping and all-around Rookie of the Year comes from one of the greatest roping cities in the country, San Angelo, Texas. His name is Dylan Hancock. Here's what he had to say about this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be the Rookie of the Year. So today is Rookie of the Year day, and I'm standing here with Dylan Hancock from San Angelo, Texas, the tie-down roping and overall Resistol Rookie for 2023. Dylan, everybody I ever talked to says you got one shot at this award, and you won it this year. You won 2 of them. How's it feel?
Feels great to take advantage of the 1 year you got, and to get it done, it feels great for sure.
You come from a roping city, San Angelo, Texas.
Yes, sir. Calf roping capital of the world.
So talk to me about your year, because you almost made it to the National Finals Rodeo.
Yes, sir. I had a great year. Just struggled at times, but we're going to rebuild and be back, hopefully run 10 calves next year.
I've talked to a lot of guys tonight. They're going to bring you in a stagecoach out in the middle of the Thomas and Mack right after your event of tie-down roping. And you're going to get a chance to get out and be saluted by 17,000 people in that audience. How do you think that's going to feel?
Oh, it's going to feel awesome. That's what that feeling we've been looking for all year, so we're here.
Yeah. What did you take from your rookie year that's going to help make you better next year?
I think you got to take advantage of the good calves and execute on those, and one calf at a time.
Yeah. These folks at Resistol, they're kind of awesome, aren't they?
Yes, sir. They're great. Thanks to Resistol for everything they do for us rookies.
Awesome. Dylan, congratulations. Good luck.
Thanks, sir.
Dylan Hancock, the overall and tie-down roping Resistol Rookie of the Year for 2023. Dylan Hancock was not that far from making it to this year's Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. That's a name I think everybody should remember.
It's very impressive to get alone win the Rookie of the Year, but to win the all-around Rookie of the Year and the tie-down Rookie of the Year, it's a pretty great thing.
All of those rookies get to go out in the stagecoach tonight in between the tie-down roping and the barrel race. Get out of the stagecoach, be introduced, get some of the most impressive hardware they're ever going to receive in their lives, and look around and see 17,000 plus in the audience and dream, am I going to be here someday? And it's a motivating factor for a lot of them to get back and do it again. We'll talk barrel racing and bull riding on the other side of this timeout. You're watching NFR Central on Next Gen Rodeo Media, powered by Rodeo Logistics.
The accessibility, the access that you have with Purina Feeds, the consistency of the product, those are essential if you want to make the finals.
It is such a blessing to be able to make a living doing what we love. In Rolo, he gives his best every time too. That's why I feed Purina.
It's really neat to be a part of a company that truly cares about the horses, truly cares about the animals. I don't think you get that with a lot of companies, but you do get that with Purina.
Using the virtual rodeo qualifier is as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, log in to the WCRA app at app.wcrarodeo.com. Then, find your event and select when you're up. Finally, check out. It's just that simple.
Welcome back to NFR Central. Thank you for joining us on the Next Gen Rodeo social media pages and on 8 Seconds Media. You can go back and watch the show anytime if you missed part of it. Let's talk about barrel racing. It's been either feast or famine for Sissy Wynn from Chapman Ranch, Texas. She's either hit a barrel or she's won the go-round. Nothing in between. She won round 1. She won round 4 last night, that 13:50, the fastest time of the rodeo so far. And look who's right behind her, Brittany Posey-Tanazi, on her way to setting a lot of records this year.
And she broke a record last night by winning over $1 million at the NFR alone. so impressive. And I would love to know the stats on how many horses that she's done that on, how many horses she's actually won at the rode at the NFR.
It's a bundle. A lot of us think of Brittany, we think of Duke, but she's ridden several. Lisa Lockhart's won $1.5 million in the Thomas and Mack, so the 217-time national finalists have won a lot of money in between them. Sissy Wynn looking great on Pink Night. Had a chance to visit with us about her and Scoop winning the go-round. Well, there have been 4 go-rounds at this NFR, and Sissy Wins 1, 2 of them in the barrel race. Go-round number 1, go-round number 4 tonight. 5th out on the ground, and Scoop turned in the fastest time of the rodeo so far at 13:50. How'd that one feel? It looked like he was flying.
He was flying. I just knew when I turned that third barrel, wow, I just can't wait to see what the time's going to be. And when I came out of the alley and I heard it, I just couldn't contain my excitement.
I want to ask you about a story you told the Wrangler Network. The lady that trained Scoop was helping you down the alleyway tonight. Tell me about that.
Danielle Campbell, she's been in the NFR several times. She's a fraternity trainer. She trained Scoop, and he's 10 years old this year. I bought him 2 years ago, and it's just this friendship now that we have. And, I mean, it's not – Scoop brought us together, so it's so cool how a horse can – bring us together like that. But now that she was walking down the alley, she's like, I don't know where to go. What do I do? And so it was really fun just to have her there with me and her enjoy that victory with me. But she's like, normally I'm on the horse. I'm nervous to be on the ground. But it was pretty special.
What was it that attracted you to him?
I always saw him when he was a futurity horse, and he won a lot with Danielle in the futurity world. And then all of a sudden she put him up on Facebook. I said, this is the horse. This is the horse that's going to take me to the NFR.
Let me ask you one final question, and that is about the ground conditions. You won your first night. I think you were 11th out. You were 5th out tonight. The first night there was some slipping and sliding, but it seems like since then they've managed to figure out the mixture.
Randy has it absolutely phenomenal. Stevie she won the round yesterday, and she was 11th out too. And I was telling some people, I don't mind going back to 11th because that's a pretty good spot, but it's just so even all the way through. So I'm just so grateful that Randy's got it right for us.
So it's either been feast or famine. It's either been knock over a barrel or win first. How do you avoid what are you spending any time in the morning in practice doing things like that?
Oh, absolutely. Definitely spending time today. I got on Scoop, and Danielle and we went through some videos that I needed to watch and I needed to do for myself to help Scoop in these next couple of rounds. But I definitely got on Scoop, but it was more for myself than him.
Sissy, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Barrel racer Sissy Wynn, 13:50. Winner go round number 4 in the barrel race. Barrel racer Sissy Wynn from Chapman Ranch, Texas at 13:50. The go-round winner during go-round number 4 last night at the National Finals Rodeo.
Yeah, and she and Scoop handled the ground so well there, but last night I thought the ground looked pretty shifty. It looked a little bit slick. I know that there were some horses that had some trouble. Summer Cochelle's, her reins flipped all the way over her horse's neck, and she didn't panic at all, and she just finished the run. That was an impressive thing for me to see last night.
Take a look at the world standings. Brittany Posey Tanazi, $348,000. She's about $2,000 behind the record that Haley Kinzel set of $250,000 back in 2018. As Lindsay said, Brittany went over $1 million in earnings at the Thomas and Mack. The 217-time national finalists are 1-2 in the world right now.
Yeah, they are, and they just look strong, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, their ability to ride so many different horses, and it's so impressive to watch these cowgirls.
Lisa is about a third-place paycheck away from passing Sherry Servey as the number 1 all-time money winner in the WPRA. I'm shocked at this statistic. The Summer Cozell, you see number 1 out on the ground tonight. Haley Kinzel, number 5. Wenda Johnson and Haley Kinzel are the only 2 barrel racers who haven't won any money yet. Let's see if that changes tonight.
Yeah, and the other interesting thing is Jessica Cochelle, she's first out on the ground, or Summer Cochelle is. But if you look at it, Cassie Mallory's going to do a horse change tonight. There's a couple things that are happening within there, but Jessica Rotere and Missy have placed in every single go-round.
Yeah, and Jessica Rotere is a former average winner here, so she has been very consistent throughout her career. She's never made a run at the NFR that wasn't on that Palomino mare named Missy.
I know, that's so impressive, isn't it?
It really is. It's kind of fun to watch. So we will see what happens tonight. Good luck to Summer Cozell, first out on the ground as we get ready for the barrel race tonight. All right, let's turn the page and talk about the Kai Hamilton Show, also known as the bull riding at this year's National Finals Rodeo. They rode 2 last night. The go-rounds pay over $99,000, and so there you see the breakdown of the ground money. Sage Kimsey got $46,307 for the number 2 spot, and Kai Hamilton $52,746 in that number one spot. It was kind of a big night. You know, Sage sort of got overshadowed by Kai, but it was a big night for Sage. He jumped from 13th to 5th in the world standings. Let's take a look at Sage Kimsey last night as he was on a bull called Vitalix BioK Anthrax. Comes from the Cervies. He made an 88-point ride, and up until the time that Kai got on, it looked like he maybe was going to get the whole pot.
And when we watch this ride, that is textbook bull riding. His free arm is square. He just rode that bull like it was a day off. That looked like a practice ride for him. You know, he's coming off of an injury, and right there, he looked pretty great.
One of the guys in the press room said, how is it possible for somebody to do something that is as complicated as riding a bull and make it look that easy? And it really was. He made it look that easy. So that was an 88-point ride, and it was winning every single nickel in the pot up until Kai Hamilton got on as the last man to nod his head. Hamilton on Fred from Bridwell Pro Rodeos, 89 points. Let's take a look at the ride and hear from Kai. Bull rider Kai Hamilton is 4 for 4. You made, based on an 8-second ride, you made $6,500 a second tonight, $52,000 for that 89-point ride. What a roll. How much fun is this?
That beats any blackjack table in this town.
You told me the other day you were losing, so this is better, huh?
Yeah, I'm up and more to spare now.
Kai, tell me about Fred. Had you been on that bull before?
I got on him earlier this summer in Livermore, California, and he fouled himself, and I got a reride on him. But I knew if that bull didn't foul himself, it was going to be big, and he's a gas hog right there in the gate every time, and his ammo is pretty much keep up if you can. I'm going for it. So I was excited to have him and get the win on him.
You were in the position Sage was in tonight last year in a go-round. You were the only guy that had ridden a bull. Stetson got on, and you guys ended up splitting a whole lot of money. Were you aware of what was going on in front of you? The fact that only one guy had ridden up until that point, did it matter if you were aware of it?
No, it didn't bother me. I mean, I'm just here treating it like any other jackpot. I'm there watching bull riding and having fun, and I knew Sage was the first guy to stay on, and when I seen him ride that bull, it jacked me up, and I was ready to go at it. So it's awesome getting to watch guys like him go before you because it pumps you up.
Everybody knows you and Stetson are best friends. Is there a little bit of I'm doing this for Stetson, or I know you guys are talking every day. What's going through your mind with that?
I'm doing it for myself. I mean, this is what I came over here to do, but I mean, it sucks that Stetson's not in it because, I mean, getting to battle with your best friend for a world title, he makes me ride better. So, I mean, it's a bit of a downer, but, I mean, that's bull riding, and it was a bad timing, but he's there pumping me up, and he told me to go win it. So when you have someone like that telling you to go win a gold buckle, it fires you up.
Guy Hamilton went over $52,000 tonight. He's gone over $400,000 for the year and is now the #1 bull rider in the world standings. He's ridden 4 out of 4 to start this NFR. Guy, congratulations. Keep this roll up. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
I will.
Guy Hamilton joining us. Just as a reminder, there have been 3 bull riders that have ridden all 10 bulls at the NFR. I'm not saying Kai's going to do it, but he's 4 for 4.
He is 4 for 4, and he looks strong. And he's sound, and he looks just calm, cool, and collected. Nothing's really ruffling his feathers. You see he went above his traveling partner, Stetson Wright, in the world standings, and I think that it is his gold buckle to win.
$402,000 for Kai Hamilton. He's won a total, including all the ground money, of $138,000 at this National Finals Rodeo. Josh Frost in the #3 spot, Creek Young, and as we mentioned, Sage Kimsey jumped all the way from 13th to 5th last night with that ride. We'll see, can he put back-to-back bull rides together like that?
I think that he can, and tonight I think that he's got a really good shot at doing that. You know, he's got Polar Express, a Stay Smith Pro Rodeo, and I think that's a really good matchup. But one of my favorite things to see in here is Trey Kimsey on riding Salty and McCoy Rodeo, and then Kai Hamilton obviously on Bale Hayes Magma from Honeycutt.
Yeah, that bull is unridden this year with a 44-point average. Jared Parsonage went around a couple of rounds ago. He has got a bull that Josh Frost was 87 on in San Antonio with an average score of 44.8 on the bull side every time the bull bucks. So there is the potential for some buck-offs. There's also the potential, if the bulls live up to their part, and the guys can ride for some big scores.
And if Kai can go 5 for 5 and ride a bull that's unridden, That is pretty impressive, and that is why he's going to take home a gold buckle at the end of the week.
There is a unique horse at this year's National Finals Rodeo. His name is Peso. He belongs to Logan Bird out of Canada. He's getting a little bit of a workout. We will tell you about Peso coming up on the other side of this timeout. Thanks for watching. NFR Central from Next Gen Rodeo Media, powered by Rodeo Logistics.
The richest 10 days of rodeo in Oklahoma is coming, and it all starts with the WCRA Stampede at the E. January 3rd through 6th at Lazy E Arena. Feel the rush of the Stampede come alive with 200 of the world's toughest and fastest rodeo athletes competing for the $1 million Triple Crown of Rodeo. This is real rodeo. WCRA Stampede at the E, January 3rd through 6th. Tickets on sale now at lazye.com.
Have you nominated with the WCRA to qualify for the Cinch World Championship Junior Rodeo? Over $200,000 added money at the legendary Lazy E Arena in Guthrie, Oklahoma. The top 16 on the WCRA DY leaderboard in each discipline will qualify with no entry fees. The leaderboard top 16 will be seeded into the semifinals round with a chance at a world championship with a cash bonus. Download the WCRA DY Rodeo app and hit nominate to qualify for one of the richest youth rodeos in history. Visit us at dy.rodeo and nominate.
One of the fun things we get to do is highlight horses. And there's so many different good behind-the-scenes stories in the horse business. Logan Bird is from Canada. He's an 8-time Canadian Finals qualifier. He owns a horse named Peso that's been the Canadian Pro Rodeo Association Horse of the Year twice. Lindsay, this is maybe one of the most versatile horses in the tie-down roping business.
And it's so cool for me to see this because, we see it a lot in the bulldogging where guys will let other guys ride horses, and there's a lot of runs happening on certain horses. But when we see 3 different NFR tie-down ropers on the same horse, that is a pretty cool fact.
I talked to Logan Bird about Peso. I wanted to talk about a great horse that is here at the National Finals Rodeo for the 3rd time, I think, with 5 different guys that have ridden him over the last 3 years. This is Logan Bird from Canada. He's one of the best tie-down roping horses in the country. His horse, Peso, packing both Brushton Minton and Shane Hanchy, who placed in the go-round here tonight. Logan, tell me, kind of give me the backstory on Peso. Tell me where he came from and give me a little bit of the backstory.
I bought him when he was 5 from actually an older rancher had him in the town by me, and he was just ranching on him, and they said he was too much horse for him ranching, so I just bought him kind of as a prospect. I thought he was buckskin, so good resale value. I would ride him for a year and resell him, and pretty early on I knew that I thought I might have something real special. Like as early as I have had a horse that would just stand perfect in the corner and run hard. He didn't have any stop when I started him. And my dad and I would always say when he was young, like, if we get this horse to stop, we'll have something. And we got him to stop, and we have something.
Yeah. Logan's got a stable of horses. You told me when we started, you got 31 at the house right now.
Yeah, that's what we do in the winter is go down there and train horses. This is actually my second one that I've had at the NFR. My first horse, TJ, went to the NFR 4 times also. This is the 3rd time, and Ty Harris rode him tonight too, so that's 3. I don't know if I've ever seen a calf horse go 3 times at the NFR before, so that was pretty cool.
And here's the interesting thing about it. You look at the guys that have ridden him, everybody from Weston Hughes to Ty Harris, Shane Hanchy. Those guys' roping style is not the same. I think I can fairly say that, but Peso handles all of them.
Yeah, I try to train my horses and Peso where I feel like anyone can ride them. I just want them to know their job, love their job, and just go do the same thing every time regardless of who's on them. And I feel like I've done a good job of that with TJ and Peso where they've had multiple people like Peso won. He's had 5 riders and then Caleb Smith won Calgary Stampede on him. Kyle Lucas won 2nd at the Calgary Stampede this year. So he's had like a bunch of the best guys in the world have rode him, and he seems to work with everybody.
Yeah. It's a good story. I don't know if you thought when you bought him $8,000 American, that's not a lot for a good rope horse. When you bought him, did you have any idea you had what you had here?
No, I had no idea. Like, I bought some prospects that I thought were going to be nice. You keep them by themselves or whatever, and I just turn the rest out in the big field for the summer until I bring them to Arizona, and that's what I did with him. I had no idea. Once I started roping on him, it was after a week or 2 I started to know. But no, when I first bought him, honestly, no idea.
What's the best part of him? The way he scores, the way he stops. What is the best thing about Peso?
I like the way he scores and runs. I think that's why a lot of people like to ride him here at Thomas and Mack. It's a fast start, and sometimes it's hard to get out of there fast enough. And he's so fast off your hand. He's the fastest horse that I've ever had. I think he's the fastest horse there is. Like, from the time you drop to full speed, he's very good at that, and that's a big advantage here. So I like that.
You're going to have 2-3 guys on him the rest of the week?
Probably 3 for the rest of the week. Hopefully get some money.
Logan Bird with us, horse trainer from Canada, tie-down roper, Canadian finalist 8 times. Peso's the 2-time Canadian Horse of the Year, and wow, good luck. I hope things continue to go great.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Logan Bird joining us. Logan Bird bought Peso for $8,000 American. I wonder what he could sell him for now.
He's priceless.
Yeah.
Honestly, a horse like that, a caliber of horse like that, who has the capabilities of adapting their style with the rider that's on them, and having that many guys who can win on them, is legitimately priceless. You're looking at half of $500,000, I would assume. I mean, I would love to know the statistics on how much money has been won on Peso, but just having 3 NFR riders here riding that horse, Logan will get. Sometimes you can negotiate a little bit, but he's going to get 25% of the winnings on that horse.
So he stands to maybe get a pretty nice paycheck out of this deal.
It's probably going to be a very good Christmas.
Yeah. And here's the thing about Peso. Let me just take you back through history a little bit. And Logan touched on this. You might remember a few years ago, prior to when we really started to see a lot of Peso, Logan had a great gray horse named TJ. Shane Hanchey had a great year. And sadly, TJ passed away just a week or two before the National Finals Rodeo. And so all of a sudden, Peso became number 1 for Shane, for Logan's herd. Logan had ridden him at the Canadian Finals, and that horse has stepped up and been great. And that's why so many different guys are riding him. Lindsay, he told me that he's got, and I've interviewed Logan a couple of times, he's always got 20, 25, maybe 30 horses that he is training to rope calves. And the one thing that he said in that interview, he wants them to fit everybody's style.
And that's such a great concept as a trainer. And I think trainers should take note of that, because as a person who trains a lot of horses herself, and I like to sell them, but now my kids keep stealing them. But, you want to have a horse that's going to fit every style of roper. Some horses can get tight if you show them the throw a little bit. But what he's done in his training program is so impressive. And like you said, 25 horses, there's probably one just as good as Peso behind him.
Yeah, I think it was a year ago. He and his sister both qualified for the Canadian Finals. Logan in the tie-down roping, his sister in the breakaway roping. This is a family where roping is a way of life, and training great rope horses is a very important part of that way of life. Thank you to Logan Bird for spending a little bit of time with us to tell us the story of Peso. So tomorrow will be a unique day at the National Finals Rodeo. There used to be an afternoon performance on Sunday, and then they moved it so that the NFR ended on Saturday night. I don't know that there's ever been a day where there was a doubleheader day at the National Finals Rodeo.
No, and I don't think that there has, and it's going to be a very somber performance. It'll be a lot of a different atmosphere. There's only 10. Every contestant gets 10 tickets. Every stall contractor got 10 tickets. Those are the only people that are going to be in the building besides media. So that concept alone, just thinking of the Thomas and Mack, if you've ever been on the floor of the Thomas and Mack and it's empty, it doesn't feel the same as when the performances are going on. So it'll be interesting to see if that takes some of the wind out of the contestants' sails, or if they just continue with their winning ways.
Well, here's the one thing about it. If it's going to feel like slack, there has never been a slack that paid $30,706 to win.
Absolutely. And, Josh Hambone-Hilton, he'll still be rocking the building with all of the music.
This is the makeup performance from last Thursday. It will be a week ago tomorrow that tragic shooting occurred here in Las Vegas just prior to the opening of the National Finals Rodeo. They are bringing this performance in tomorrow morning. It's at 10 a.m. Pacific time. You can watch it on the Cowboy Channel. We'll talk about it tomorrow afternoon, and then they'll turn right back around. That'll be performance number 6, and then tomorrow night, performance number 7. So it's going to be a busy day for everybody.
It'll be a busy day. It'll be interesting to see what the barrel racers do, if they're going to run their horses back to back. There's a lot that goes into running all of those horses every night.
We will be here tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock Pacific to tell you all about tonight, tell you all about about tomorrow. We hope you will join us. For Lindsey Rosser-Sumter, I'm Steve Kenyon. God bless everybody. Thanks for joining us for NFR Central from Next Gen Rodeo Media, powered by Rodeo Logistics.